What's going on, buddy? Hope all is well with you. I think I'm going to continue to do these videos on the classic tablet. Um, after my last YouTube video I uploaded, and it literally took less than a minute to upload, and it was like over a 10-minute video, and usually my iPhone takes 5 to 10 minutes to upload a video like that. So, you know what? I'm going to continue to upload these with the tablet. So, I know you dig the low quality, and I do as well. So, I'm going to get right into week 15 training. By the way, I was going to try and get you a video yesterday, but I went to a concert. Went and saw A Day to Remember. I'm not sure if you're a big fan of them. The openers, though, were freaking awesome. The first opener was Beartooth. I don't know if you've heard of them. They seem like they're actually pretty popular. They had a pretty good following. Beartooth was sick. They were super aggressive, super loud. That was dope. And then the next opener was I Prevail, which they were really good live. Like, I'm not a huge fan of them, but they were super good live. And then A Day to Remember was really good as well. Like, the whole concert was like top to bottom one of the better concerts I've been to. Like, openers all the way up to through the headliner. So pretty dope. Literally, dude, my neck is so sore from all the head banging. I like to get a little rowdy, so that was freaking fun. Anyways, moving on. Week 15, we squatted 345 for a triple at RPE 7. I think that was pretty easy. We're back to benching. Bench 225 for a triple to start with. And RPE 7, that was super freaking easy. Deadlifted 515 for a triple with no back pain, so that was a step in the right direction. And tempo bench 230 for a double at RPE 7. I didn't film any of my benches. No, I filmed my tempo bench, not my comp bench. So, and then ended the week on a 360 triple on safety squat bar, and that was easy. Just kind of touch on this week too. This week's going really well. 350 triple on Monday for safety squat, 235 double on bench, freaking easy. 520 double on deadlift, freaking probably an RPE 6. So damn easy. And then 240 tempo bench. Just got that day done today. The glute feels okay. The low back feels okay. The main article of concern is the shoulder. I've been very diligent with just trying to roll everything out every night, icing it 2 to 3 times a day, 20 minutes at a time. It seems like it's getting better. There is one strange thing. Not strange. Well, actually, good. The first thing is very strange. Very, very, very strange. So I try and test every day when I'm at the gym. I try and get under a squat bar and just see how it feels, just so I can get an idea if it's getting better, if it's not. And it was Tuesday. I got under the bar, and I got in like with, middle fingers on the rings, so fairly wide, wider than I would go in a competition. Freaking killed, like absolute, like a pick knife, like a pick jabbing me in my shoulder. But the weird thing is, and this has happened before, this has happened several times, even when it was hurt, if I go super close, like when I comp squat, I do a thumbs width from the knurling start, and I only do that for like my top sets. All my back off sets I usually widen it out because it's a lot of stress on your shoulder, right? But I have no pain. I have like zero pain when I'm inside. And then as soon as I start moving out, which I don't know if that's is probably like external rotation, it freaking kills. It absolutely kills. So I don't get why that could possibly be, but I'm gonna roll with it, I guess. So this Saturday, 2 days from now, I'm going to comp bench. I'm going to comp squat. With a close, and just see how it feels. I'll let you know if I have any huge complications. And yeah. Sorry. I'm going to move you because the wife got home. Let's go. Video. All right. Wow. Wasting time here. Sorry about this. All right. Anyways, Okay, so yeah, super weird how if I go out, it hurts more. If I'm really close, it doesn't hurt. Like even like this, I feel zero pain here. When I feel here, it's not super painful, but there's some discomfort. So I don't know if you got any ideas on that. Let me know. Trying to think here. So I'm gonna try and comp squat Saturday and see how that goes. Wow, I've like lost my train of thought here. One thing that I've noticed over the last few weeks is when I test my shoulder on a deadlift day. I usually deadlift and then possibly bench and then test it, or I'll deadlift and then test it, and it always feels better on those days. And I think it's because my overall body and my shoulders and everything is just more warmed up. So I know you've probably given me 1,000 times, but can you just give me a quick something to like? What would you do to warm up the shoulders before you squat? Like I've never done a shoulder warm up before I squatted. Like I do my shoulder mobility with my Chris Duffin shoulder rock, and I stretch my pecs, my lats, my rear delts, my traps. I stretch everything, but that's all I do before I squat. I do some like band work, shoulder warm up before I bench, which I could probably do before I squat. But let me know like if you do anything for that. And I know you probably didn't give that to me 1,000 times, but anyways. So, I mean, it would make sense if my shoulder's more warmed up, it probably feels better. So I probably need to, before Saturday, like warm up my shoulders quite a bit before I get under the bar. Probably be a good thing. Okay, moving on after 7 minutes of rambling. Oh, I freaking died laughing. You were talking about nationals, and you said Noriega. Your quote was Noriega's a clown. I literally freaking died at that. Just thought I'd mention that his squat, everything is just ridiculous. Like what the freaking I don't know how the dude isn't broken. Like it's absolutely ridiculous. I was kind of curious when your Canadian nationals was. I cannot remember. I think is your nationals provincials. Uh, I can't remember when it is, but anyways, I was kind of wondering when that was for you guys then, and I was also wondering if any of your lifters were going to have a chance to maybe go to Worlds. I was kind of just wondering who is your best overall lifter, maybe based on Wilks or something. I was just kind of curious on that. You kind of mentioned like frequency and volume and stuff, and I was kind of curious what your ideal frequency was. I know you mentioned when you first started lifting, just everything was super high, I think. But I was kind of curious what your ideal frequency is now that you've been training for a long time, and like, is it like if you squat 2 times a week, is one comp and one variation? If you deadlift 2 times a week, is like, or are they both comp squats, or like how you like to approach that? I was also kind of curious what lift beats you up the most, because I've always found it very funny that I think the majority of the population find that deadlifts beat them up the most, and I've always found that, well, bench kind of beats me up a little bit. I always found the squats beat me up a lot more than deadlift. I mean, I'm like built to deadlift, so with the long arms and long legs, and so I've never felt like deadlift has beat me up all that much. I've always felt like squat beat me up worse than deadlift. I was kind of curious what that was for you. I thought it was really funny when you said, who can handle the boredom longer? Because it's so damn true. I've lost so many training partners over the years just because the sport is freaking boring as hell, right? Like, it's work gets in the way, family gets in the way, some things, and then you just kind of fall off. And yeah, I don't really have any training partners, to be honest with you. So I've had numerous throughout the years, and they just kind of come and they go. So it's kind of funny. You mentioned about the peak years of powerlifting, and I want to say Ed Cohn said 35. I can't remember what you said. If you said what you thought the peak years were, but I mean, yeah, like you said, Dave Ricks is still doing it in his freaking 50s or upper 50s and stuff. Ellis McLean, some of those guys in their 40s and stuff like that. Yeah, Ed Cohn. I think Ed Cohn's at 35, and that's kind of what I was thinking it would be around. Was like 35 to maybe 40 if you can like handle the boredom for that long. If you've been training since you were a teenager or since you were 20 and you trained for 15 or 20 years. Oh, it's funny. I thought it was funny how you mentioned about the talent pools exploding. It is so funny because like, so I didn't started competing in powerlifting till, well, if you could consider a deadlift only meet a powerlifting meet, with 2017 or something. So like just a couple of years ago, maybe it was 2016. I can't remember. But I remember always like kind of following the sport in college and stuff. And I remember distinctly me and my buddy saying, if D1 athletes, if this sport grows and gets really popular and D1 athletes or like professional athletes start getting into it, we are all screwed. Like, you remember, like, because you were in powerlifting a lot before me, but I was still like followed the sport and stuff. But man, back in like '09, '08 and stuff, like powerlifting was pretty underground before the social media boom. Like social media, I feel like has just blown this sport up. I was kind of curious if you think it's gonna be. I mean, you know, the fitness community is always like a pendulum. It's like it's always like stretch, don't stretch, foam roll, don't foam roll, squat 7 times a week, squat once a week, and it seems like it can never. I think it's starting to finally find a mean, but like, and now it's like it like was an underground, not very popular sport. Now it's like crazy popular. I'm kind of curious if you think it's gonna last, or if people, again, like you said, people are just gonna get bored, and then the sport. I kind of wonder if people are gonna start going into strongman. I think strongman has a little bit of an advantage to other strength sports due to the fact that it's very like you go to a competition and sometimes you don't even know what you're doing. Like all the events are different, and it's just about brute strength and stuff. I feel like that's going to have maybe a time coming up here, but I love freaking powerlifting, and I don't see myself going away from that. I've always thought about, like, I would really like to do a strongman competition. So I live in Iowa, obviously, and we have the Iowa Games every summer, and they always have a strongman competition, and I always thought that was really cool to do some year. But at the same time, I don't know. I'm too focused on powerlifting right now and getting to my goals first. That was really all I had for the most part. I did want to say that it's freaking freezing up over here, so I'm sure it's absolutely freezing where you are too. By freezing, I mean it's like 30 degrees, so it's really not that cold. It's below freezing, but I'm not ready for this. We've already had snow. I don't know if you guys have had snow yet, but my wife and I ordered a snow blower, so I told her that I'm not dealing with that bull crap. So I don't think you have one. I remember you mentioning that like shoveling like wrecks your back, and I'm sure it would wreck mine too. I haven't shoveled in a really long time because I've rented for so long, but I'm not going to take that chance, and I am going to buy a snowblower. So yeah, hopefully you guys haven't gotten dumped on yet, but I'm sure it's coming. So, all right, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope that you're recovering still from your hernia, and it's getting better every day. So, talk to you later, man.